All right, let's take a look at these connections questions. They're having us deal with percents. This is going to make you work with your geometry that you may or may not remember, but we'll take a look at this. So John measures his triangular garden. That's important. Let me go ahead and draw a triangle. Okay, so here's John's garden. I'm not sure whose gardens are triangles, but John's is. Okay, he plans to use 40% of the area for edible plants. The height of the garden is 12 feet. I'm going to go ahead and label that. So the height is 12 and the base is 9. So 9 feet down here. What's the area that John will use for edible plants? Well, we know it's 40% of the total area, but we don't know what the area is yet. So the area of a triangle is calculated by doing base times the height and dividing by 2. So we take our values that they gave us. They gave us the base and the height, so that helps us out here. The base was 9, the height is 12, and we're supposed to divide that by 2. We go 9 times 12 is 108. Divide by 2, and we get 54. Okay, and this is in square feet. So the area of John's garden is 54 square feet. 40% of that is used for edible plants. So how many square feet are used for edible plants? Well, we change our percent to a decimal and multiply by the total area. What is 40% of 54? So we're taking 0.4 times 54 and we get 21.6. So 21.6 square feet of his triangular garden will be edible plants. Here's another. The sides of a rectangular building are 20 yards and 15 yards. What percent greater is the area of the base of this building than a square building whose sides are 15 yards? So once again, we're going to need some shapes. So let me grab a rectangle. Okay, one of the buildings is rectangular and the other is a square. Let's put in the dimensions for each of those. The rectangular building is 20 yards by 15 yards. The square building is just 15 by 15. They want to know what percent greater is the rectangle than the square. Well, we need to know the area of a rectangle is the length times the width. So it is 20 times 15, or 300 square yards. Okay, let's find our square building. The area of a square is also length times width. So we get 15 times 15, which is 225 square yards. Well, in order to find the percent, first we have to know how much bigger the rectangle is than the square. So let's subtract those. 300 minus 225 is 75 square yards. So it's 75 square yards larger. We want to know what percent that is. So what percent is 70 of 300? So what we do is we take 75, divided by 300 and get 0.025. And all we have to do now is change that to a decimal. So we move the decimal 2 places to the right and we get 25%. So the area of the rectangle is 25% larger than the area of the square.